most awkward few minutes of my life, just sitting here, like, everybody looking at me, looking at my face. I'm like, where is Angie?
I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, I've never done Instagram Live. So I was trying to figure out, how do I get in there? When is she sending me the request?
Tell you the trials that we went through today to get this live video happening.
I know.
We were just trying to get it on Facebook. That's where we started, or where I tried to start this thing, but it's not working. So thank God, shout out to Nydia. If you guys didn't see the video with Nydia on Wednesday, please check it out. But she was actually the one who gave me the idea to make an Instagram account. And so thankfully I had it. So we were able to hop on this way. Hey, everybody who's saying hi. Love that you guys are joining in on this way. Thank you for being flexible. Figure it out. But hey, I'm so excited that you're here and that you are tuning in today for this Strong Women series. And I really just wanted to create a space where I could highlight different women that have come into my life one way or another, who are just doing incredible things and in different industries, at different places, just leaders wherever they're at. And so Angie is one of those people. So hey, Angie. So,
hey, Max.
How are you, first of all, before we get into the nitty gritty here?
I am doing good. I'm doing great, fantastic, phenomenal. It has been an interesting week, a week of loss for our family, but also a week of reflection and understanding that there is a higher power that is working, and we are trusting and believing that this is all going to be over. But I'm doing amazing. It's so nice to see you. It's been a while since we've caught up. So I am excited to speak to you today and just get to chit chat about our favorite subject, which is God.
I love it. It's funny because when we were talking right before this, and she was like, oh, this is going to be great because we just laugh all the time. And I was like, wait, this is giving me pressure that I have to be funny, because I don't know if I'm funny on the spot.
No.
Welcome to everybody who's joining now. So Angie, I just want to say, so I met Angie also years ago. And I can't even pinpoint the exact moment that I met you, but I know that from the moment I met you, we just clicked right away. And net group that I was in, and you were part of Pass the Rock, and also became a huge part of what we do with Bravely Rise, coming in as both a participant and a speaker, and then helping to kind of spread the word out there as well for people. And I've just been someone that I've just admired so much, from your strength, your story, everything that you've let God do in your life. And I'm just excited to get to know you some. So, or for other people to.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a journey. Our journey has been amazing, and I can't pinpoint the exact moment. So I'll tell everybody later how we met, the exact moment.
That's awesome. So, hey, I love starting with this question about, just tell me about your name. Do you love it? Is it you? Does it fit you? What does it mean?
So my name is Angelica, and I'll give you a little bit of a background about my name. So the Latin meaning of my name is Angelique, and the Greek meaning of it is Angelus, but the Bible meaning of Angelica is messenger of God. And I know that it fits me perfectly. I think my friends and family, I see that some of them have joined, would probably say that it fits me, because I truly am a messenger of God. And it doesn't matter what type of arena I'm in, whether it's the business arena or personal, I'm always talking about God, and God is always first in everything I do. So I love my name. Everybody just calls me Angie, though.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to come to you from now on and be like, hey, messenger of God, and let's see if it adds a little something to your day.
It does. It adds a little pop to it. There's a little pop.
Amazing. Cool. So, hey, can you just start by telling us a little bit about your journey with God, to this point? What has that been like?
So my journey, to be honest, my journey with God began since I was little, but I ended up walking away from God when I graduated college. When I graduated college, I kind of took a step back because personal things happened in my family that tested my faith in God. And then maybe 2 years after I graduated college the first time, I found God again, and it was actually through my ex-husband, and I'm so grateful to him. Because of him, he brought me back to God. Will I say that my journey with God has been easy? No. There's been so many ebbs and flows when it comes to trusting and believing God, because I have literally gone from having nothing to having it all, to starting all over again, and then asking God, like, why, Lord, why did this happen to me? And still being in a place where I surrender and I trust that everything that has happened in my life is for a reason. And so my journey with God, I can tell you something has been, if there's one word that I can describe about my journey, it has to be obedience. And I didn't know what being obedient was until I had no other choice but to trust and be faithful and obedient all at the same time. That if God placed something in my mind, in my heart, and in my soul, that I had to be obedient to following him and trusting him.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, and I know that your story, which you share at the Bravely Rise retreat, you definitely have one of these stories that you went through it all, kind of up and down, and you just kind of make the most out of what God has given, and just take it in stride and say, there's obedience still here. I still have purpose here. I still have something to continue to complete, even though there's things that weren't great, in my life. I think it's just so incredible. So tell me, you've been walking with God for a while. Tell me how that kind of intertwined with what you feel like God has put on, and your.
Sure. So, I was really confused for a while with respect to what my purpose was. There was a point in my life where I was questioning God, and I was questioning what was I doing here? Why did he create me? What was the purpose? Because I felt that I had no impact, that nothing that I did was ever good enough. I didn't know who really I was meant to touch and to speak with. And Max, it's funny because it wasn't until I met you that I figured out what my purpose was. And I want to just quickly just talk a little bit about what that means to me specifically. When I met you, I was in the lowest point of my life. I was questioning whether or not, I could trust God again, because I was hurt and I was in so much pain because, you know, um, my marriage, was over, and I had lost money in a business, and my dad got sick and my niece got sick. And I really was questioning everything about my life, and I was questioning whether or not the things I had done in my life had an impact. And I remember walking into Hillsong Church, because we met at Hillsong, and I was invited to a Wednesday service. And I really didn't want to go to the service. And I remember a girlfriend of mine, her name is Lisi, told me, Angie, you need to go to the Wednesday service. That's where it's happening, because there's too many people in this service. You need to go to the more intimate version of Hillsong. And I remember saying, okay, I'm going to go. And she told me, sometime that was, I think it was like 45 minutes before the actual service. And I got there before everybody did. And I remember meeting the worship leader, Darnell. And Darnell was like, hey, you're kind of early for the service. He was like, do you want to volunteer? And I was like, volunteer for what? He was like, to help set up. And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. I'll volunteer. I was like, I'll volunteer. But I was still being a little hesitant, because I was like, what am I doing here? why did I come? Why did I come on a Wednesday? But you know that God doesn't make a mistake, because he literally says, hey, I have somebody you have to meet. Wait 1 second. I'm going to introduce you to Maxine. She's the leader here when it comes to setting up and everything else. And I remember he went and he got you. You were somewhere in the back setting something up, and you walk up and I see this beautiful girl walking up to me, and I'm like, oh my God, who's this girl? And you walk up and you're like, hey, welcome to church. I'm Maxine. What do you want to do? Yeah. So literally that was our first moment. And I remember you and I ended up talking for several minutes, and you said to me, you know what, girl, I don't know why, but God is telling me that you need to come to my connect group because there's something I have to talk to you about. And I was like, I just met this girl. What do you mean you have something to talk to me about? And you were like, yeah, I don't know. God is telling me that there's something there. We need to connect. You need to come to Bible study, to connect group. And I remember the week after, I attended a connect group. And at the end of the connect group, you asked me to stay. And you said, Angie, I have this group that I'm starting up, and it's called Bravely Rise, and it's for women. And I want you to be part of it, of the first cohort. And I was like, no, I can't be part of it. I'm going through some stuff and I don't know, what to do. I don't know how I'm going to give back. And you're like, no, you're meant to work with women. You're going to come and you're going to be part of it. And I don't care what you have to say, because God said that you're going to be part of it. And literally that was the moment.
Sorry, I don't remember this, but I believe you, because I feel like everybody's memory of me is me pushing them to do something.
Yeah. Basically, that's what it was. And you said, no, you're going to come. And I remember the first day of Rise, and we were there with the other 10 girls that were there. And I remember you said you had asked me to speak, and I was having some qualms about speaking because there was this thing, right, that I had not told anybody that I needed to share. So I'm not going to share this on this live. You guys just have to come through Bravely Rise to hear my story. So that's the plug right there. So I had this story to share, right? And I remember the day that I did share it, the reaction that I got from the women. And I felt, this is what I'm meant to do. I'm meant to share my story with women. And that's what I knew.
Your story was so powerful, and I remember it was kind of the first time that you were opening up in that capacity. And so I thank you for your vulnerability there. And for those of you who are here also, and you kind of feel like, man, I don't know if story is worth telling. It absolutely is. There's a place and a space for it. And, our life, God uses all of us, no matter where we are, to help other people. So when you go through something, it's just for you. God is so good that he will use it for you, but he'll also use it for other people. So really,
that's right.
That's incredible. I love that. So can you tell us a little bit about your business and what you do? And you kind of have your hand in a couple of different things. So talk to us like what it looks like to be a Christian woman in business.
Sure. So my business is called the Enriched Mine LLC, and my purpose and mission are all in the same, because it's literally to help women embrace their power and step into their warrior queen. And how do I do that? So I do that several ways. One of the things is one-on-one coaching, because I do business coaching and life coaching with women who are in middle level management and are trying to step into executive level positions, or who are transitioning out of the corporate world. They're tired. I don't know if some of you women who are joining are tired. You're just tired of the 9-to-5 hustle and bustle. You have an idea in your head. There's been some doubts and some fears. Well, listen, I got you. I have an amazing business partner, and what we do is that we help women step into their purpose, whether that is getting an executive level position or transitioning into their own business. We literally have a program called Roadmap to Success for entrepreneurs, and it's the most amazing program. We have some of the women, I could see that they're on this live now, that have participated. We walk you hand by hand to your business plan. Like, we help you create your business plan, whether you have an idea in your head or you've been in business for 20 years, we literally help you scale your business. We also have a program to help women. Today I was on a call with some women that I invited to the live that want to become public speakers. We have a program that teaches you how to become a confident public speaker. And my amazing business partner, her name is Minwe Yoshida, and she's the CEO of Yoshida Consulting. She is a dynamic and fantastic public speaker. She helps you put together your whole speaking engagement from A to Z, but we also have a class where you can immerse yourself in a very dynamic, very hands-on class that teaches you about public speaking. And we have 3 different levels, which is the basic, intermediate, and the advanced. And we've done it at HBO, S&P Global, so some pretty big companies, right? And then the other thing that we do is that we do a lot of diversity and inclusion training. So we go into corporations, they hire us, and we do a lot of diversity and inclusion training with helping companies set up their ERGs or scale their ERGs. Also, I personally do training when it comes to women in leadership, promoting more women in leadership, and educating companies on hiring people with disabilities, because we need to have the conversation. These people want to be included. They don't want to just, be invited. They want to dance. They want to be part of the whole inclusion aspect. How do I include God in all of this? I do a ton of public speaking. And let me tell you, I was just talking to a young lady about this the other day that I was coaching, and she has a ministry of makeup, right? She has a makeup ministry. And she thought that she had to exclude her life, her spiritual life from her business. And she didn't understand that she had to include both of them. They're not mutually exclusive. When I speak in public arenas, right, at conferences, whether it's a faith-based conference or a regular conference, I'm always giving glory and honor to God, because I am where I am because of God. My life is a reflection of how God has changed me and transformed me.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I know that there are people who might be looking at this and saying like, hey, that's you, but I can't walk into my personal, my office space or wherever it is I'm working, or if I'm a teacher, right, or whatever, and just talk about God or what's the faith. But the thing, the walk, absolutely.
Right.
There is someone who is walking in, and you have had your time with Jesus. You have had your time with God, and you're able to go in and actually change an environment and a space, and people will want to hear and want to listen.
You know what's so amazing, Max? That I have been in places speaking to executives, right, of these big corporations, and we'll have a conversation. And the first thing they'll ask is, are you Christian? I always get the question, are you Christian? And I'm like, yeah, I am. What church do you go to? Like Hillsong Church, right? They're like, oh my gosh, I love their music. I knew you were Christian. And it'll literally change the dynamic of the whole relationship when I tell them, yes, I am. Because that's the one thing I don't deny. I don't deny God. I don't deny my love for Jesus Christ. I don't exclude it any longer from who I am. See, I refuse to do business with people who don't accept me. I always begin a speaking engagement with, hey guys, I'm Christian and I love God. I love God. Like, I'm going to talk about God. You're just going to listen to me talk about God. But I also respect everybody else's beliefs and opinions. But I love God. I love Jesus Christ. So I'm not gonna stop being who I am to please other people. I'm just not. Because I don't expect others to do that for me.
So good. So powerful. I love that. So life has changed a bit with everything that's going on in the world. And so I guess if you were to like kind of quickly tell me, has anything changed for you in your business and the way you're going about things since this pandemic is kind of keeping us indoors?
So, interestingly enough, this pandemic has done something amazing for me and my business partner. We were already doing trainings, at corporations, coaching, one-on-one coaching. We were doing it online. But what it actually did is that it caused us to create a new line of business where we're moving all of our programs online, fully online, and we're recording the sessions and giving accessibility to people on a national scale. For my business partner, Minue, she has been able to create a whole new line of business for herself and some other business partners that she has, where she teaches people how to conduct online meetings, and online trainings. How do you successfully convert your face-to-face training to an online, because it's a totally different animal and people don't understand that. So for us, we haven't stopped doing business. As a matter of fact, our business has increased because we've been running successfully our entrepreneurship class online, and also our trainings. We've been doing it on Zoom. People are like, oh my goodness, you guys work so amazing together. How can you teach us this? And so it has literally opened up our business 4 times. So we're happy with it. We're happy.
And hey, I also want to kind of put this out there for people who might be listening. And we know that everybody is in a different place, right? And so some businesses are thriving, some people are thriving, and some people are having a tough time. Both are okay. Both are okay. The only thing we want to just remind people is keep your eyes on Jesus, and he's going to tell you what the season is meant to be. I think for some people, I was talking earlier to a friend of mine, for some people, this season is really a season of slow down and reset. You need to take a pause. Too fast. You need to focus on the things that that God wants you to focus on. But I believe with that, I believe also God is putting new ideas into the world. I think things are changing like never before. And when we think about God, we know God is always doing a new thing, always. And so, again, take the time that you need. If you're someone who's like, man, I'm really struggling this season, don't feel bad about that. It's okay to take that time to get right, to get refocused on God and what really matters. But I love the fact that you have been able to kind of shift very easily into this space with what's going on right now. It's incredible. So cool. So I always like to ask, just for people who are information absorbers like I am, I read a gazillion podcasts and all the stuff. Give me like a book that you're reading or a podcast you're listening to or a show you're watching, anything that you think would be like, man, you guys really need to get on this.
So the book that I'm reading is actually called Goliath Must Fall by Pastor Louis Giglio. I don't know, if you guys have ever heard any of his messages. He's super powerful, super amazing. This book is so good because it literally talks about the Goliath in your life that you need to slay, and it has to fall. Listen, this is the season to be reading that book. This is the time. If you need hope, if you need faith, if you're struggling with some stuff in your life, like that's the book. That's the go-to book. The podcast that I listen to every day religiously, I share this with my friends and family who speak Spanish. It's called La Dosis Diaria, and this particular gentleman who's a pastor has a YouTube program called Roca Stereo, which is also his podcast. It is absolutely fabulous. The messages are literally less than maybe 6 minutes long, but it's so powerful. It gives you that pep in your day. And then something that I am going to recommend that everybody watches. We are literally sitting at home, doing Netflix and chill. You guys should watch Miracle in Cell Number 7. That movie, my twin sister was the one that told me to watch it. Then she told all of the family to watch it. We were in tears. My dad was in tears. All the men in our house were in tears. It has so many life lessons. And we have a niece who is special needs. She's autistic. And it's a story about a man who has special needs and his daughter. And so we were able to identify in that story because we have a niece, who's autistic. And we think about and hope that one day she will get married and have kids, if she doesn't. So it has so many learning lessons there. So just beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Of lessons, if you were to just like, I know this is a hard one, but like, man, if some of us, like, if you kind of are able to look back and really realize patterns, we realize like, oh man, there's been a lesson that's been kind of threaded throughout my life. If you were to think that my life lesson, this is the thing that I feel like keeps coming up for me over and over, what would that be for you?
Oh my goodness, it's forgiveness and truly letting go. There is nothing like the power of forgiveness. Forgiveness opens up blockages in your life. It opens up the channel directly to God. When you decide to hold on to things, what you're doing is you're telling God that He is not good enough, and He is not big enough, and He's not great enough to heal you. And that's what you don't want.
Awesome. Ah, you're so incredible. If people want to like get in touch with you, how do they do that? What's the easiest way?
Sure. So first of all, I'm gonna say something really quick. For anybody who's struggling and is going through it right now, they're in a season, they're going through it, there's doubt, there's fear, they don't know what's their next, they're really struggling. I am hosting a webinar next week with my girl Jai Vargas. She is the CEO and founder of the Latinista, and I am doing a webinar on overcoming the imposter syndrome. And a lot of people have been asking me, please, to help them to do, to coach them on this. And so I'm literally doing a webinar on this. So guys, join next week. Follow her page is called the Latinista, and you can find the link to the webinar in her page. You can find me on my Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I'm at Coach Angelica Ogando. My email is angelica@angelicaogando.com, and my website is www.angelicaogando.com. Reach out to me.
Thank you. This information in the link as well. So click on it. Angie, you're incredible. I love you so much. I really do.
I love you more.
Guys, for those of you who are watching this later on, just a reminder that we are going to be doing the Strong Women series every Wednesday and Friday, supposed to be at 5 p.m. Man, I don't know. We might just have to switch over to Instagram Live. We'll see about, it's typically on Facebook, Zoom Live, but it's given us some issues today. But check us out. And if you're not following us on Facebook yet, please do. I'm trying to create some great content there, some Bible studies, both in English and in Spanish. Just, have more incredible women there. And if you know somebody who is an incredible Christian woman who is killing it, just message and add them to this page and get more people here, because that's what it's about, just sharing what we're doing. So I love you once again. Thank you so much.
You.
Everybody who tuned in, and hopefully we see you next Wednesday.
Yay! Thank you. And thank you to my business partner. She's posting on the live chat. She's posting all my information. She's amazing. I love her. All right, Max. Thank you.
Here, and be safe out there.
You too, love. Bye.